It is the unofficial last week of summer on Wall Street, and some key economic indicators are out this week. These indicators could help provide clues on whether or not the Federal Reserve will roll out another rate hike next month. Management services company ADP released data this morning, in fact, that shows job creation slowed in the month of August. Javier David, managing editor for business and markets at Axios, is joining us here on set to break it all down for us. He's also a CBS News contributor. I love seeing you both places. I read your stuff all the time. For those unsure about their meaning, what does the data released this morning actually tell us about the U.S. economy? Because I feel like all these little indicators sometimes don't add up to what we think.
Yeah, so the headline here, and this comes directly from the mouth of our chief economic correspondent at Axios, the high-level take is all of these numbers that we got, we kind of got a blitz. We got ADP, which is jobs data, kind of a precursor to the big jobs on Friday. JOLTS yesterday. Tomorrow we'll have labor initial unemployment claims. All of this points to evidence that the labor market is moderating, is settling into a mode that is less overheated. Last year and even the year before, you just had jobs after jobs, and these monster job numbers. The labor market is settling into a more sustainable dynamic, and it's less go-go gangbusters numbers and much more consistent with an economy that's still plugging along, but not nearly as sort of over the top as it has.
Yeah, we're not doing big alarm bells.
We're not doing big alarm bells.
We're doing quiet cutting. Remember, we did this whole thing on quiet cutting.
And most
people aren't getting laid off.
And most importantly of all, it's less inflationary.
Yes.
It's disinflationary.
Right. That's good. But you know what we care about, right? Is the Fed going to look at that and go, great, we can slow down, or great, what we're doing is working, let's keep it up?
Well, interestingly enough, last week, the Federal Reserve Chairman, from the horse's mouth, said he's still very concerned about inflation, and they will not stop until they feel the job is done. So you have to thread the needle when you're a central banker. You have to give everybody what they want. And people will always read into it what they think they want to hear. But it seems as if the Federal Reserve is cognizant of the fact that they've done a lot, that their risks are probably more skewed to the downside than anything else. They do not want to cause a recession, but they really do want to sort of absorb all of this excess demand that's pushing up prices. And they're very committed to that. So they might raise next month, but they might pause.
Those of us looking at wanting to buy a house are like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. That sounds like cloudy with a chance of sunshine. We always love those predictions. I want to ask you about something just a little bit different. U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo wrapping up a trip to China. She really talked about how important the relationship was to keep open lines of communication. She's not the first cabinet member to go over there and try to smooth things over, whatever President Biden has to say about China. How important is the relationship, the economic relationship between China and the U.S.? It's
extremely important. And you may have seen that Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, was just there a few weeks ago. She did a similar sort of dance. There's a delicate balancing act going on. The U.S. and China really do need each other, but they've got real pain points and real problems in this relationship, some of which predate the Biden administration, a lot of which predate Trump. But the relationship has quietly deteriorated under Biden, even to the extent that it was, they were really contentious under Trump. There are real issues. Biden has moved to restrict technology. The whole AI boom is raising lots of questions about how much access China will have. Playing out in the background is still the unresolved question of TikTok. We have all of these fights with China about intellectual property, tariffs, the level of their currency. Some of these have retreated to the foreground, but they're still there, unresolved. China's economy is not in a good place. The U.S. is doing comparatively better.
Well, they had all those lockdowns for so long.
They had so many
maybe
lockdowns.
This is a good time to start that kind of conversation.
Well, the U.S. is negotiating clearly from a position of strength. And this is a dynamic that we haven't seen in a while, because it's usually like China's, the big dog, and they still very much are. But the problems that they're having in their economy really put them, it makes the conversations a lot easier to have. So they're much more inclined, and they're trying to contain the damage at home. The U.S. can come in and sit down and say, okay, let's really talk about some of these things now. Let's really try and make some progress.
Really interesting stuff, Javier. Always great having you, Javier David. Thank you.